Welcome to another edition of Just My Opinion podcast, episode 32. How you living? I'm living swell. This is going to be the official time I'm going to be doing Just My Opinion. I'm going to be doing it in the afternoon. I do apologize on the first live stream I just started moments ago. I ended it, had the wrong avatar on, but nevertheless, I'm the best. Let's get into it. Let's address this issue that we have at hand. All right. So, Jeanie Buss, there is rumors and speculations that Jeanie Buss, Rob Pelinka, the Lakers organization is not too pleased, not too fond of one LeBron James. And there is a possibility, not a strong possibility, but a possibility that the Los Angeles Lakers would sing that old song, I think I'm going to let him go, let him go. The possibility of trading LeBron James in the offseason if the Lakers continue to spiral. Currently, they still have a good shot of making the play-in tournament, but the play-in tournament is one and done, and depending on who they're going to play against, it's not a guaranteed sure shot that the Los Angeles Lakers are going to even win the play-in tournament. Now, I know a lot of people are saying there is a possibility since, everyone is injured and going through their ups and downs, more downs than up. Like the Utah Jazz, the struggle is real over there. The Denver Nuggets, the struggle is real over there as well. The Los Angeles Clippers are using smoke and mirrors, even though they're still in the playoff hunt. Then you got the Dallas Mavericks. They're starting to make a run of it. But earlier in the season, the struggle has been really real for the Dallas Mavericks. Okay. The Portland Trail Blazers, Dame Dollar is out. You got the Phoenix Suns. Chris Paul is going to be out. How long in the playoffs? No one knows. Everyone is speculating. The Golden State Warriors, even though they're continuing to win, they're doing it with a lot of young players who have never been in the spotlight as far as the playoffs go. They still have Klay Thompson, Steph Curry. Draymond Green is slowly but surely going to make the lineup. We just don't know, but eventually he's going to make the lineup. So just in the West alone, the struggle is real. Everyone has hit the wall. And I heard Rick Bucher thesis on the possibility of the Los Angeles Lakers making it through the play-in tournament. And he basically said, well, look at all the teams out west. They're all injured. Like the Los Angeles Lakers are not injured. Anthony Davis, depending on which side of the fence you're on or which way the wind's blowing, you have a lot of people speculating that Anthony Davis may be done for the season. I don't know why people don't let people buy, but this is the world we live in. Everyone's in a rush to go nowhere. This guy almost cuts me. All right. Yes, I'm doing this live stream while I'm driving back home. If anyone is wondering, curiosity killed the cat. But I heard what Rick Bucher said on Undisputed, which, by the way, Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless, they've been gone since President's Day. Now they wasn't even in the studio today. So a brother has to wonder, Are they still on hiatus? Have they started their summer vacation a little bit early? Or is this their way of saying when they come back there's going to be a lot of changes? Now, Jenny Taft is going to be working. Well, she's still going to be with Fox Sports 1, but she's doing the pregame. She's going to be doing a lot of soccer events. She's more of a field reporter, and that's her passion. She still has a podcast. Even though a lot of people don't realize that Jeanie Buss does have a podcast, and she probably wants to dabble back into her old fields. And not to mention, I don't think the relationship with her and Skip Bayless is not all that strong. And I feel like there are some healing moments with her and Shannon Sharpe. Now, I know Shannon Sharpe's not going to say that they're best buddies, bosom buddies, but they had moments as well at each other's throats. I just want to throw that little caveat out there that, I haven't seen Skip and Shannon. They probably on an extended vacation. Probably, at the end of the day, really means nothing, or it might mean a lot. Well, whenever they come back, it's going to be a lot of old faces in different places. That's what I'm speculating. But let's get into LeBron talk, shall we? So Rick Bruker, I think I butchered that guy's name constantly, was on Undisputed talking about, well, the Lakers technically are still in it. They can still make a run in the playoffs because of all the other teams. They're struggling, and a lot of their players are injured. And he fails to mention that the Lakers, Anthony Davis is injured, and LeBron James is just doing LeBron James. And you got a handful of players that, no matter who you blame, whoever you're a fan of, Rob Pelinka, Jeanie Buss, or LeBron James, no one is taking responsibility, particularly with all the off-season moves the Lakers have made. And when there were better moves, better basketball moves than what they ultimately chose, no one wants to take responsibility or blame for trading for Russell Westbrook. Considering you had a deal on the table to get Buddy Hield, yeah, I know Buddy Hield isn't a superstar, but Buddy Hield fits perfectly with their scheme, and it made more basketball sense than to trade for an aging player that's owed $40 million $38 million this year, $42 next year, and no one wants Russell Westbrook. Now, I'm pretty sure in the offseason, people may kick the tires around and explore a possibility of trading Russell Westbrook. But at that point, you're literally doing that to, for salary cap reasons, which more likely you're gonna be on the hook for Russell Westbrook at least until the trade deadline of next year. Good luck with that, Lakers. Good luck with that. No, now Rob Pelinka said, no, that's not what I wanted. LeBron James and Rich Paul said, no, we didn't request them to get Russell Westbrook. Jeanie Buss is nowhere to be found when this topic occurs about who ultimately is co-signing this trade. Not to mention the other signings and that old adage, addition by subtraction. The players you gave up could have contributed somewhat to the Los Angeles Lakers this year. How much? Probably not that much, but they were younger players, affordable players, and if they didn't help you earlier in the season of this year, you could easily trade those players for a multitude of draft picks or players or younger players to help with your roster this year. But you're stuck like Chuck with Russell Westbrook. But no one wants to take responsibility or co-sign having Russell Westbrook on the roster. So there have been growing speculations, a lot of rumors that suggest that Jeanie Buss possibly would be trading LeBron James this offseason. And the reason, and I'm going to have the article below, the person who wrote the article, I'm going to give you their reasoning. But my reasoning is the reason why they will probably be interested in trading LeBron James is if you look at LeBron James is not happy to be there. LeBron James is also talking about a possibility of playing with his son. He thinks of that as, he look at that as a challenge, more so getting another title. And the Lakers, the possibility of the Los Angeles Lakers drafting Bronny James, unless they stink up the joint when he's able to be in the NBA draft. LeBron also talked about the possibility of returning back to Cleveland. I think that window is shut, sealed. I don't think, come on, dude. What's taking you so long? I don't know the status of, I lost my train of thought. I was still stuck with that dude. I don't understand why he just stood there in that big truck when he had every opportunity to go into the next lane. Anyway, I don't lost my train of thought. Okay, we talked about the reasonings why Jeanie Buss may be interested in trading LeBron James. One, LeBron James, the as far as him a challenge, as far as winning a title, those days are gone. Those days are numbered. LeBron James is not interested in chasing titles. LeBron more interested in playing alongside his son. And the Lakers are about winning multiple titles, not just one title, multiple titles. Yes, they won the title almost 2 years ago, but a lot of people, and I always tell you guys, all titles are created the same. Do you remember those titles 2 years down the road? If you don't capitalize as far as winning a title, if you're just a one and done, like the Toronto Raptors, who talk about the Toronto Raptors? They won a title with Kawhi Leonard. Does anybody still talk about the Toronto Raptors as far as title contenders? No. They're here today, gone tomorrow. Nobody cares about what title you won a year, 2 years ago, or 3 years ago. Nobody will even talk about the Milwaukee Bucks winning a title last year. So for you to just hold on to the fact that you won a title 3 years ago is completely laughable. Saying it doesn't matter if you won a title 2 years ago or 3 years ago. So LeBron's not interested in winning titles no more. He wants to play alongside his son. Those are his dreams and aspirations moving forward. And he also wanted, and here's what I remember. He also wants to go back to Cleveland. I don't think Dan Gilbert wants LeBron James back to Cleveland. I feel like that door is shut. I feel like that window is shut. Dan Gilbert is not interested in no LeBron James returning back to Cleveland. Because Cleveland, a lot of people don't realize this, they a week ago, they could have gotten the top seed in the East. The Cleveland Cavaliers are balling, folks. They're going to be in the playoffs. Now, how far they're going to go in the playoffs, no one knows, okay? But if everything stays status quo, if the Philadelphia 76ers, if Joel Embiid gets injured and he's going to have to shut it down, or James Harden has to shut it down, if one of those guys get injured, and if the the Brooklyn Nets, if KD doesn't return and Ben Simmons doesn't play this year, and it's all about Kyrie, there's a strong likelihood and a possibility that the Cleveland Cavaliers could represent in the East, folks. Because literally the only team that be standing in their way is the Miami Heat. And you have to go by talent for talent. Who has the better roster? Who has the best talented roster between the Cleveland Cavaliers or the Miami Heat? And I would say it's a push either way, either one. So you got that going on. But Dan Gilbert, I know for a fact, is not interested in no LeBron James returning to Cleveland because the Cleveland Cavaliers, folks, are in the playoffs. Also, the Miami Heat are in the playoffs. And these are the same two teams that had won LeBron James. And think of all the things they had to do to satisfy LeBron James. Just think about all the things they had to do to satisfy LeBron James. Give up on draft picks, mortgage and sell their young, talented roster. They stayed damn near close to the salary cap. If you look at the Cleveland Cavaliers, they were in salary cap hell. And they had to sign players that were not valuable anywhere else, like a Christian Thompson, a J.R. Smith. When LeBron James left Cleveland, he left them holding the bag of Christian Thompson and J.R. Smith. Those players with that type of contract was untradeable. And now you look what Cleveland has done, and you look at what the Miami Heat has done. They're in the playoffs, and they don't have a superstar. They don't have a LeBron James. And they're doing fine by their damn self. The problem with LeBron is no longer interested in winning titles, and he sees the window closing. That's why he's going for all these individual stats and achievements that mean absolutely nothing in the NBA when it's all said and done. If this was Major League Baseball, folks, LeBron James would have a strong argument. He would. He would have a strong case for going for all these achievements and individual stats. But this is not baseball, folks. Basketball never capitalized off of personal achievements and personal records. It always have, and it always continue to be about championships. The only thing remotely individual that the NBA champions for is MVP of the finals. So Jeanie Buss is saying to herself, this is not what we bought into. When we got LeBron James to Los Angeles, to La La Land, this is not what we wanted. This is not what we was expecting. We was expecting multiple titles. We only got one so far. And could Jeanie Buss do the unthinkable? The impossible? Could Jeanie Buss take a page from her father, Dr. Buss, and trade a superstar? Remember, Dr. Buss traded Shaquille O'Neal because Dr. Buss saw what Shaquille O'Neal was ultimately going to become. He didn't work. He didn't work on his fitness. He wasn't really concerned about basketball. He kept saying to himself, as long as I'm the biggest, baddest guy on the planet, who cares how much I weigh? Who cares about my nutrition? Who cares about adding more to the weapon wheel as far as basketball skills? No, I want to continue to make hit records, be on television shows, be in the movies. I want to do those. I have aspirations for those things, but no, those things don't equate to what the Lakers are all about. The Los Angeles Lakers are about winning titles. The Los Angeles Lakers are about dynasties. They're not concerned about your personal achievements. They're not concerned about you being number one on the Billboard charts. They're not concerned about you having the number one hit movie in the summer. They're not concerned about you being on a number one television show because none of that stuff computes to the Los Angeles Lakers. The Los Angeles Lakers are about dynasties winning multiple titles, and your personal achievements do not apply to the Los Angeles Lakers. And that's what Dr. Buss was saying about Shaq. Jeanie Buss is saying the same thing about LeBron James now. Fast forward to now. LeBron James is more concerned about individual stats and personal achievements. LeBron James is more concerned about being an impact in Hollywood, being an impact in the woke movement, being an impact and influencer on social media, being the first to play alongside their son in the NBA. LeBron James is thinking about individual stats. He's not really concerned about winning another title. So there's a possibility that Jeanie Buss would take a page from her late great father, God rest his soul, Dr. Buss, what he did to Shaq, and he traded Shaq sooner rather than later. And that's what Jeanie Buss is sitting on her desk. Should we just go on and cut our losses, lick our wounds, and trade LeBron? Or be stuck like Chuck with him with a year remaining on his contract, and he's going to walk away from us anyway. And then we get absolutely diddly squat. The Los Angeles Lakers are not going anywhere anytime soon this year or next year. They don't have enough draft picks, enough assets, enough young talent to flip for another superstar. Because that's what it's going to take for the Los Angeles Lakers to win a title. They need another superstar. Okay, it's not going to be AD. AD is too injury prone, folks. I told you that ever since they acquired AD. They gave up way too much for AD. They given up on their future too fast, and that's one of the reasons why Magic Johnson didn't want to pull that trigger too fast for getting AD. Hold on one second. I got to put y'all on mute. All right, I'm back. I had to put my order in. All right. So, Jeanie Buss has a decision to make this offseason, folks. This offseason is going to be very monumental for Jeanie Buss. If she wants to separate herself from her father, she's going to have to make a decision that most people don't want to be in a position to be responsible for or to have to make. And that's, should I trade, cut my losses, trade LeBron James, get something as far as we're going to do a total rebuild. We got to have a multitude of draft picks, and we just start this thing all over again. Because I'm telling you, folks, the Lakers are not going to win this year. They're not going to win next year. They're just going to be in the middle of the road pack team. They're going to be stuck with. They're going to be stuck with Russell Westbrook this year. They're going to be stuck with Russell Westbrook next year. They may unload Russell Westbrook at the end of the trade deadline next year. And then they're still not going to go anywhere. If you wait until next trade deadline to trade Russell Westbrook, you're not going to get the best value for him. You're literally giving him away because you just got to take him off your books. So you're going to get whatever the other team is going to give you. Russell Westbrook isn't the player he once was when he was doing the triple doubles, and he was the one-man army for the Oklahoma City Thunder. He's not that Russell Westbrook no more. And that's what the Los Angeles Lakers are. That's what's in front of Jeanie Buss. Should we give up now? If you're in the offseason, should you just start all over now or wait until it's too late? Because LeBron is gone. He's going to do his year. He's going to do his bid. And he's going to walk away from the Los Angeles Lakers. And the Los Angeles Lakers are going to be stuck with Chuck, with AD, and that cast of group of players that they have. There's nobody on that roster that you can say without a shadow of a doubt is going to make the Lakers any better. I'm sorry. There's no one there. No one. Hold on one second. Give me 1 second. I got to complete this order. I'll be right with you. I'm gonna put y'all back on mute again. Anybody want to comment? You're free. Feel free to comment. So Jeanie Buss got a decision. Should we cut our losses? Should we start rebuilding this upcoming off season, or we should just sit back, sit on our hands, wait next off season for LeBron James to just leave us and we don't get anything in return? And AD, we're stuck with AD, and then other teams are going to find out that AD isn't. Even if you trade AD, you're not going to get what you lost in getting AD. A lot of people fail to realize that. They gave up a king ransom for AD. Hold on a second. King ransom. Hold on. Anybody want to comment? Feel free to comment. I'll read your comments. So that's what's going on with the Lakers. They got decision time. It's time to put your big boy pants on. Jeanie Buss, you're going to prove your worth as an owner. Because sometimes owners have to make the tough decisions. Rob Pelinka, you're going to prove yourself as, particularly running the front office. This upcoming summer, this up and coming off season, y'all got some decisions to make. Are y'all going to stay status quo? Or are you just going to go ahead and cut your losses? Because you already done lost LeBron. LeBron is thinking about 2 years, possibly 3 years down the road, as far as this is his new achievement. This is his new challenge to play alongside his son. He's done trying to compete as far as winning titles. He's done with that. He feels like he already surpassed Michael Jordan. And he's going to base it on the Kareem all-time scoring record. He's going to base it on that. He also going to base it on other achievements that they talk about on the broadcasting booth. Like LeBron James has scored 30 points on every single Tuesday night around 3:45 p.m. I mean, some of these stats are ridiculous stats. But like I said, basketball isn't treated the same or treated well like baseball. Baseball is all about stats. That's the aura of the game. That's the universe of Major League Baseball. The stats and moments. The NBA is about moments as well, but they have never been about stats. The only thing stat related the NBA talk about and focus on, any hardcore fan, no matter if you go to the barbershop, no matter if you're on the blogs or on YouTube live streams, is this player went to the finals X amount of times, won championships X amount of times, and was MVP X amount of times. I'm sorry, it has always been that way. And despite what the blind witnesses think of LeBron James or Isaiah Thomas, which, by the way, we're going to get into what Isaiah Thomas said last week. It was complete blasphemy. And it just shows how much hate he has for Michael Jordan. This man has so much hate for Michael Jordan. When they were in line to announce the 75 greatest players, Isaiah Thomas made his way beeline straight to Magic Johnson while Magic Johnson was in a conversation with the greatest player of all time, Michael Jordan. And Isaiah Thomas just bypasses Michael Jordan, didn't even congratulate him, and was talking to Irvin Magic Johnson. That's how much hate he has for him. And I'm going to explain to you guys why he had so much hate and animosity to Michael Jordan. Even though I feel like Isaiah Thomas is in the top 5 of greatest point guards. But he doesn't tell the whole truth, the whole spectrum on LeBron James dynasty. But we'll get into that another time, another day. Anywho, I'm telling you, your girl, Jeanie Buss, has some decisions to make this upcoming offseason. I hate to reiterate this 7 times, but this is my 8th time. This is going to determine whether or not if she's going to go down in history as a great owner. Her ownership is online. Her reputation is online. Rob Pelinka the same way, sir. This offseason, if they stay status quo and they just let LeBron James, if they don't make a significant trade to make that roster better, they're going to do one or two things to defeat the naysayers. Either they're just going to just let LeBron James just ride it on out and trade AD and get somebody to play alongside LeBron James and maybe get LeBron James interested into winning another title for Los Angeles, or they just cut their losses and just start rebuilding a year early or 2 years early and trade AD, read the temperature in the room about LeBron. LeBron, would you mind being traded to a team that's probably going to help you with your personal achievements and also go to a team that could possibly draft your son, which more than likely is going to probably be Detroit. And if LeBron James is cool with being traded, going to Detroit, just waiting in the wings for his son, that's cool. And you still try to trade AD and just start rebuild this thing. Sometimes you have to burn everything to the ground to start all over. Yes, it's going to be a lot of casualties that's going to suffer. The coaching staff is going to suffer. They're going to lose their jobs. Russell Westbrook, they'll just tell Russell Westbrook, we're interested in a buyout. Just sit at home. We'll buy you out. Your services are no longer needed for the Los Angeles Lakers. We rather for you to just sit on your tail, make your money, hope and pray that there's a sucker out there that's willing to trade for you, or at least trade for you for salary cap reasons. Which, if the Lakers might will just keep him. Let him finish his contract in La La Land, and look at all that cap room you're gonna have when you take him off the books. And a lot of Lakers fans are gonna say, well, that was the master plan from LeBron anyway, to just suffer in mediocrity for 2 straight years, because they knew they'll have all that cap room if they just, let Russell Westbrook play out his contract. And look at all that cap room they got. They got AD, they got LeBron James, okay? LeBron James is going to re-up. They're going to have all that cap flexibility, okay? And then now they can get a third superstar. A lot of people are going to speculate that stuff. A lot of people just have their heads in the cloud, just dreaming, daydreaming, day and night, night and day. But Jeanie Buss, you're on the clock. This offseason, this is going to be your destiny. This is going to etch you in stone. Are you going to have the stones to do what your father did to Shaquille O'Neal? Your father was ruthless. He said, let's just give up on Shaq, because Shaq is interested in other things. Shaq is not interested in winning titles. And then a lot of Shaq fans are going to say, well, he did win a title with the Miami Heat. Oh, the same Miami Heat that had Dwayne Wade? That Miami Heat team? The same Miami Heat team that Gary Payton said on Vlad TV that he had a conversation with Shaq and say, look, Shaq, we're not what we used to be. Let's just pull our egos to the side and let this engine run. Let Dwayne Wade be the driving force. We just play off of Dwayne Wade. And guess what that got them? Another chip. If Shaquille did not have that conversation, you would have had the same old Shaquille O'Neal thinking that he's larger than life. He's better than everyone. He's the icon. Every team should worry about what Shaquille O'Neal wants to do. And he probably would have never won a title in Miami. Another title. And that was his only title. But, it is what it is. I take this time out and I start reading you guys' messages. I had like 5 people in the building. Nobody left a message, particularly when I was ordering my meal. And now I'm in the process of going home. I'm not that far away from home, to be honest with you guys. So I'm going to take this time out, just a couple of minutes. Maybe you guys want to write a message. It's not a lot of people. I think there's like 1 or 2 people left. And if you guys are interested, if you got a message for me, I'll read it if it's a real message, and if it's something relating to the topic, have no issue reading the message. But Rob Pelinka is on notice, Jeanie Buss is on notice, and y'all hold the Lakers' future in your hand. What are y'all gonna do moving forward? Are y'all gonna stay status quo and have the possibility of sucking yet again next year? And LeBron James, you'll be hearing LeBron James in all the interviews next year talking about, well, I'm just going to weigh my options. I'm not committed to the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm really not committed to nobody. I'm just going to just wait, play it out, see what the organization is going to do, see what Jeanie Buss is going to do, see what Rob Pelinka is going to do, even though they can't do absolutely diddly squat. Because guess what? To make you happy, LeBron, they traded away, mortgaged away all their young talent and assets that could help them now. They also traded away most of their draft picks to get AD, and y'all got AD. You overpaid for AD. You won 1 title off AD, and the likelihood of you guys winning a title again is unlikely. Folks, they're not going to win a title this year nor next year, because the same roster they have this year, they're going to have the same roster next year. Unless there's some organization out there dumb enough to give them their best player, send their best player to Los Angeles for nothing. That's the only way this is going to happen, folks. That's the only way the Los Angeles Lakers are going to, unless every team in the NBA has a major injury, which is most of the contending teams have injuries. Few of them may have major injuries, and maybe they can just squeak in. But at the end of the day, folks, they still got to play the Golden State Warriors. They don't have, they have no, they have, they don't even know how to beat the Golden State Warriors. They have no answer for the Golden State Warriors. They have no answer for the Phoenix Suns. Even without Chris Paul, they still don't have an answer. They have no answer for the Memphis Grizzlies. That's just the best teams out west. What about the teams out east? Woo-hoo! They have no answer for Joel Embiid. And even though I'm not too excited about James Harden, Joel Embiid can take that team to the promised land if they represent in the East. They definitely have no answer for the Brooklyn Nets. They have no answer for the Miami Heat. I feel like the Miami Heat, if they make it to the finals, they're going to beat. And if the Los Angeles Lakers somehow, some way make it to the finals, which I highly doubt it, they're going to, that Miami Heat team is a lot more talented and a lot more healthier than they were when they had that bubble championship. Just saying, folks. Just saying. AD is out. They're saying there's reports out there that AD is going to be out for the remainder of the year. Even if he comes back in the playoffs, what type of percentage AD you're going to get? You're not going to get an 80% AD coming back from that injury. No. It's not going to happen, folks. Man, they working on mad cars out here. God damn. It's like is this a parking lot or is this a garage? Because there's cars everywhere being propped up, needing to be worked on. Like this one car right here. It's been jacked up like that for 3 straight weeks. Look like it needs a tire, and I'm going like, damn, it takes 3 weeks to get a tire for that truck. Damn, struggle's real out here. Well, I'm at home, folks. Like I said, I was gonna read some messages, but it seems like nobody. I really do appreciate everyone that came by and listen to Just My Opinion podcast. Please be sure to hit the like button. Please be sure to hit the subscription button. Hit the notification bell and share this with your friends, family, and followers. Also have a membership. People that are members of Just My Opinion podcast get bright, shiny badges, colorful badges, and colorful text and stuff like that. All that jazz. So if you want to become a member, hit that join button. I really do appreciate everyone that came by. And I will see you guys. We'll try to make it tomorrow. We'll definitely try to make it tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. It's your boy, the host with the most. I do not brag or boast. I'm coming to you live, coast to coast. Just My Opinion podcast. I will see you. Wouldn't want to be you. Take care, guys. Take care. Great show, guys. Great show.